Good evening, Pistol fans. The Great Northern Odyssey continues here on the Range Report. Tonight, we're in the city of Palmerston, 20 kilometres to the east of Darwin. Noel Harrod was on site to meet the wonderful people that make up the Palmerston Pistol Club. Let's go and meet them.
G'day and welcome to Palmerston Pistol Club. The Palmerston Pistol Club is located in Archer, which is probably 10 minutes out of Palmerston City. The range facilities are fantastic, the people are great, and it's a beautiful place to shoot in the Northern Territory. Good afternoon everyone, my name's Peter Jones, or as most of the people here at the Palmerston Pistol Club call me Jonesy. I'm the current president out here at Palmerston Pistol Club just out of Darwin in the Northern Territory.
So Jonesy, how long have you been the president?
I've been the president for just over 12 months now.
And what do you like about the club the most?
It's a pretty friendly sort of club. It's a small club. That means that you can get to know all the members pretty well. It's a great bunch of members that we have here. And as you can probably see, if we pan the camera around a bit, we've got some pretty good facilities here. So our facilities are probably right up there with anything else in the territory, and a small number of shooters, which is good at times. It also has its downfalls. It would be lovely to have 150 members here, but we've got around the 50 mark. Most of those members are very keen. We have a good roll up every Sunday. We also shoot air pistol on a Tuesday night. Have a reasonable roll up there. So it's good to have for the club to remain small because it's a friendly and everyone knows everyone here.
And what do you shoot here?
We shoot the four disciplines here. We shoot service. We shoot all the service events: service unrestricted, service 25. And the two WAs. We also shoot IWSF. We've got three ranges set up for IWSF. We shoot the full range of IWSF. We have two indoor air halls here. The original air hall is 6 lanes, with a new one that was opened about 7 or 8 years ago. That's 10 lanes indoors. Both of our air halls are air conditioned. With automatic returners on our targets. We also shoot black powder. Black powder's taking a bit of a revival at the moment. There's quite a lot of interest in black powder, so it's a pretty popular discipline at the moment. And we also have a 50 metre silhouette range, so we can shoot silhouettes with 22s.
And what do you normally shoot yourself?
I'm predominantly a service shooter. But I do shoot. I try and shoot all the events, and I've just recently purchased a black powder pistol, which is a little bit of a laughing point among other black powder shooters, because I've always said that it was a and giggles match. So I've just bought a black powder revolver, and I shot that today, and quite enjoying the challenge of black powder shooting. But I shoot all the events that we have here.
My spies tell me that you've become addicted to black powder and you shot a 90 today.
I did have a lucky day today. It was black powder 13, first time I'd shot it, and yeah, I did happen to jag a 90, so I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, I don't think I'm quite addicted yet.
And what plans do you have for the club? Is there any development plans?
Yes, we've got a few things, long-term and short-term plans. Long-term plans. We're in the process, or have been for quite a few years now, of building a 200 metre silhouette range. We've got a lot of the groundwork done on that. There's still a bit to go, but that's an ongoing project. Other projects that that I'd like to see done here. Out here where we're shooting at the moment, or where we're standing at the moment on the service range, in the wet season it gets quite wet here. I'd like to see some concrete and drains put in here, and while we've got a shade sail above us, in the wet season the rain goes straight through it. So I'd like to see a solid roof put in there to allow us to shoot more often in the wet season on the service range.
I certainly appreciate the shade myself. It's
Yeah, it does get a bit warm up here at times. We're in the build-up season now, and luckily we've had a bit of rain, so the weather's not too bad. Normally we haven't had as much rain as what we've had now, and it'd be very hot and sweaty. So it's not too bad today. There is a little bit of breeze around, and it's keeping the temperature not too bad.
the numbers drop off in the wet season a bit, or?
Yes and no. We have a core of hardcore shooters that turn up rain, hail or shine. The ISSF guys, they shoot undercover under a roof where they're in their shooting bays, so their numbers seem pretty consistent throughout the wet and the dry season. But yes, it does get a little bit hot and sweaty out on the service range during the build-up.
And just back to the black powder for a minute. How far do you think you'll go?
How long's a piece of string? At this stage, it's a novelty for me. I've put in a couple of reasonable scores, so we'll just see how that goes, mate. We won't make any big statements at this stage.
I think it'd be actually fantastic if you had a nationals here.
Well, funny you should mention that, Noel. We have got a bit of interest in hosting a nationals event here. We would like to, with our club and Darwin Club, our sister club, which is about 15-20 k away. I think between the two clubs, with the facilities that we've got, I don't think it would be impossible for us to host a nationals here. I don't think there's been one in the territory for many years now, and it would be awesome to get the opportunity to host one and let the other shooters from around Australia come up and experience the territory.
Oh, look, I think it'd be fantastic, and it's very clear, between the clubs together, you have everything that's needed. And what an experience to come into a place like Darwin and have a nationals here. And certainly there'll be a push. I can see this coming, and certainly has our support, most certainly.
Awesome. Look forward to it, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Range Report, David. What do you do around here?
My role is service representative. I look after the service range that you can see behind us here, and the relevant service shooters that we have come, whether they're new or whether they're experienced, and yeah, I just focus on making sure they shoot safely.
Certainly a lovely range, really is.
Oh,
fantastic.
It's a good range. It's beautiful this time of the year with the wet season. Nice and green, and yeah, very lovely.
And what do you like about the Palmerston Club the most?
Palmerston Club, it's a family orientated club. We have some young shooters here coming up through the ranks now with air pistol shooting through to 22s, and then hopefully they'll get up to the level where we are at service. They're good, camaraderie is very good around here, and they're all good people.
And competition is on Sundays?
Yeah, we shoot Sunday service, start at 8 o'clock, and we have service 25 on one weekend, and then we have service and service unrestricted the next weekend, and then we have WA 1500 the following weekend.
8 o'clock in the morning's early, but however, it's very hot during the day.
Well, it is. That's why we get an early start on it, to get in before the humidity.
Tell us your most memorable experience about being in the club.
Shooting my first PB.
And what was that?
I think it was about 802 on service, I think it was.
And where are you at now?
A little bit shy than that. We've had a bit of time off with an injury, so we're just starting to get back into shooting again now. But yeah, we're starting to get the numbers back up again.
Do you shoot any other discipline at all?
I do go up and occasionally shoot. I have shot black powder, and I have been up and had a go at the ISSF, and we've got silhouette range that we've started to have a go at as well. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. National championships. You think the club could host one?
Certainly can. No problems in the world.
And would you like to?
My word, definitely. Bring it on. We've got the club, we've got the people, and we've got the infrastructure that'll certainly cater for their need.
And it certainly would be a great experience for other people. People don't come to the territory very often.
No. I mean, we'd like to get as many as we can to come through on it. We've shot a couple of NT titles here, which have been very successful. So to get a national through would be really just the icing on the cake.
And certainly the experiences here, big events. Arafura Games was here for a long time. Hopefully back in it very soon. Masters Games down Alice. So there's experience to run the events easy.
Yeah, there is. And as I said, we've got good people in the club that are focused on working through to make these things happen. And we've had a good reception with the NT titles, so there's no reason why we couldn't do the same with the Nationals.
Well, thanks for joining us on the Range Report, and the push for having the Nationals in Darwin is growing and growing and growing.
No problem at all. Bring it on.
Hi, I'm Chris Harding. I am a shooter at the Palmerston Pistol Club, also the secretary of Pistol NT in the territory here.
So Chris, how long have you been in the Palmerston Club?
About 20 years, I think, since I moved back up to Darwin. Been here for all that time. It's a great little club. Moved here because it's probably the only club that was in Darwin that was consistently shooting ISSF matches, and that's what I was pretty much interested in.
You're also a former president of Northern Territory?
Yes, of Pistol NT. I was the president for a number of years. Been involved for probably about 15 years in various capacities with the PNT board, and been a worthwhile endeavour for the time I've spent in it.
So what do you prefer to shoot?
Oh look, I'm a bit of an all-rounder. I do like ISSF matches. I shoot service, but I've been actually really getting into black powder in the last couple of years. It's a bit of a passion at the moment.
And the firearm you had this morning that I was looking at?
Oh yeah, look, we just have got a pretty keen crew here that are shooting the 13-shot international match, copied from the New South Wales guys. I've got a number of guns that I shoot there. The one I was shooting this morning was a flintlock pistol in 45 cal. It's great fun and surprisingly accurate.
Magnificent to look at and magnificent to watch. What's your most favourite memory about Palmerston Pistol Club?
Here, I suppose it's probably there's a lot of good memories here. The camaraderie is a particular standout, and the way that people get together and have built the club from pretty humble beginnings. A lot of time, a lot of blood, a lot of effort put in, and I suppose that community involvement. We've done it without any sort of great deal of government help. It's all, just volunteer labour, and I suppose working and getting the club up and running to being a pretty good range has been quite rewarding over the years.
Hospitality since we've been up here in Darwin is absolutely fantastic, but there's also been a push to have the Nationals brought back to Darwin.
Yeah. Look, I've seen old reports when the Nationals were here in about 84 or so, I think from memory. I think we've got a member of the club here that was at those Nationals. Look, it's been a bit of a dream for a number of people up here for many years. It's always been a bit tempered by the fact that we're only a small group of people up here, and whether we've got the facilities, which I probably think we could have the facilities, but whether we've got the manpower or the people power to run those Nationals would be, it could be a problem. But yeah, look, I think it's on the agenda for sure.
Well, it's certainly getting a push, and I'm sure the people, all the shooters around the country would love to come up here. It's a different environment, it's a special experience. Hospitality is magnificent, and the facilities are great.
Yeah, look, it would be a good Nationals to have, the ISSF PA Nationals. We've run action Nationals up here a number of times, so it's not as if it hasn't occurred for PA in the past, and certainly it's something that we're keen to put on the agenda and keep at the forefront of people's minds here for the next couple of years.
And the Northern Territory's hosted Arafura Games and the Masters every 2 years, so the experience and event management's there for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure we could muster something anyway, and we'd certainly be able to show people a good time socially. I know that.
Well, thanks, mate, for being on the Range Report. Have a great day. What a great facility. Apart from it being so hot, it's been absolutely magnificent.
It's beautiful weather at this time of the year. Cheers, thanks very much.
Tony Chalker. I've been with the club here now about 15 years. 11 years of it as president, and recently handed over to Jonesy. And I'm fairly heavily involved in the service range on the club. But in the 11 years that I've been here, basically rebuilt what's here in that 11 years by the members.
It's a fantastic facility here, yeah. There's a lot of work's gone into it. What's your favourite memory in the club?
My favourite memory in the club is the first NT titles, believe it or not, that we ran. That was just after we've got the 3 ISSF ranges working and the service range working, with some help from the then Chief Minister of the NT, who visited here with his 2 boys. I explained the financial issues that the club had. We were lucky enough to gain a grant to purchase the movers, the moving frames, the turning frames that we've got. They were at a local design, first time using those butterfly valves.
Wow.
and there was some doubt that they'd be reliable. So far they've been in about 11, 12 years now, and so far we've done 2 little solenoids on it in the 12 years out of the 7 we've put in.
Well built, obviously.
So
And
that was worth the effort.
and what do you shoot yourself?
I shoot service. I've done a little bit of IWSF. There's a couple of IWSF matches I don't like, so I don't go and shoot them, like all shooters. But I enjoy my service match, and I certainly enjoy my IWSF air, and I certainly enjoy shooting centre fire when I get the opportunity.
And what score are you shooting here?
I was shooting 539s, but my wife had a gun problem last year, and my grip came off my gun and went on hers, and 9 months later she sold what she said was her gun to a Club Junior to bring a Club Junior along, and I've only just got a new air pistol to replace that today. So I'm looking forward to putting some more pellets through it and get it squared away from my finger and my eyesight.
That's a good score. I can only dream of that.
So it would be nice to get over 540. I've had 539 now 11 times, so it's started to become a bit of a large fence to jump, but now I haven't shot for a while. I'll just climb back into it, and that's my plan.
So for those watching, we're on the 50-metre range, and there's a couple of plubbers with a nest who have come to watch the show. That's what the noise is in the background.
They make all this noise during the 50-metre matches and haven't attacked anybody even when we walk down and do the scoring here, so we've been fairly lucky. There are a couple of people a bit scared that some of our less skilled shooters would hit them, but gee, you've got to be really good to hit a plubber.
Absolutely. They're obviously associate members of the club. And what do you like about the club the most?
The friendly open atmosphere. Everybody gets along very well together here. When it comes to working beasts, everybody gets in and mucks in, and we get things done and dusted and out the road and get back to shooting.
As I said, certainly magnificent facilities, great clubhouse. Everybody's welcoming. It's a fantastic venue as well. They're talking about maybe everybody else has nationals coming back to Darwin. What do you think?
I think it's probably a good idea, and I think it should be split between Darwin Pistol Club and this one. I think it is probably a very viable thing to do. When the economics of the country that would support enough people coming out to go into the thing. Coronavirus obviously has killed a number of things this year, not only at Alice Spring Masters, but our own NT Open this year had to be local. They couldn't invite anybody from any other state because they all had the coronavirus issues, and we'll have to wait and see what the years become. It's not much point having a national in Darwin if you can't get the people here and the economy backs it, and the government backs it. Without it, you end up with locals anyway. It becomes a local show.
Yeah, we most certainly have a policy that to hold nationals anywhere in the country, it's got to be available for everybody, no matter where. And who knows what the future holds in this situation. At least up here in the Territory, you're virus-free, as we are in Canberra. But certainly there's virtually no restrictions here, just common sense, and it's working very well.
We bring people up to the tropical north and get them to shoot here in July or August, which is the perfect time for us before the humidity builds up. They may find they're a bit delayed due to fog, which most southerners get very confused about. How can I get this hot during the day and we're fogged out at 8 o'clock in the morning? Well, the sun comes up, it'll disappear half an hour, that's all you got to wait, 3/4 of an hour.
That would be an interesting experience because, as you know, we get fog in Canberra in the winter, but that's because it's freezing. It's interesting you get fog from the heat as well. So
we get like a ground fog here, so it'll only go up to 12 or 15 feet.
Okay.
Because it's below the actual rays of the sun when the sun rises.
Yeah.
So as the sun gets high on the ground, just dissipates.
Wow.
Cyclone Marcus arrived at probably the wrong time for me. My wife was in hospital having major surgery at the time. I got a phone call from one of the club members saying, I just went out the club, you need to get there. I drove out here on Saturday on the way to the hospital and went, gee, I'd lost, out of all the dividing walls, I'd lost all but half of one that's immediately behind you.
Right.
And the half that disappeared just happened to be the downrange half. As a qualified senior range instructor, military and civilian, I then went about the processes of keeping this club shooting, using only 2 ranges, not what we had available, because they were just too close together. So we separated what we could use and used what we could. The insurance company sent out an assessor on the next Sunday. That assessor disappeared back to Brisbane. The underwriters then sent out their own assessor, which was a week later. He walked around here and said, "It's Darwin. If you get me 3 quotes, 2 of them will be lies. Get me a quote on when this can get done by somebody that's available." There's a lot of damage in town. Whilst there was nobody's homes were damaged, a number of commercial buildings did get damaged. So we ended up getting hold of a group. They put in the quote, we sent it away. They arrived with skid steers and front end loaders, knocked the rest of the walls down and rebuilt what you see today, and then core filled it all, and our insurance company paid, which was very nice, extent of about $112,000 all up. We got it finished 2 weeks before we were due to run the NT titles that year. People were very worried that we wouldn't achieve it. We actually not only achieved it, we had a good NT titles that year. With the thanks again to the members and the volunteers. We were running new wires for the turners, new airlines for the turners, all of those sorts of things over those 2 weekends. They were huge weekends, so 14, 15-hour day weekends. But come the Friday night, we were ready to go for the NT titles and shot the first of air and did our equipment checks. And it was just like normal for those that hadn't been in Darwin for a long time. It took about 4 months.
Yeah, I think the people outside of the Northern Territory, apart from perhaps north of Western Australia and north of Queensland, don't always appreciate what cyclones can do to situations. They all heard of Cyclone Tracy, but I'm not sure everybody's aware that this happens quite a lot.
We should be good now for many years, I hope.
You hope.
That's why we're still insured.
I should hope so. Thank you again.
Thanks, Tom.
Good on you, mate. Ta.
Cheers.
Well, folks, that's a wrap from the top end. We hope you've enjoyed all the content coming your way from the Palmerston Pistol Club, Darwin and Alice Springs Pistol Clubs. A lot of really wonderful people running those organisations. If you get an opportunity to visit the Northern Territory, pop in and say hi. They'd love to meet you. Have a shoot on the range. Great part of the world. Great to have a look around and enjoy all the sights and sounds. Well, 2 weeks' time, we're back with another version of the Range Report, this time from the city of Dubbo and celebrating Dubbo Pistol Club's 60th anniversary. Should be great viewing. Make sure you stick with us. If you enjoy our content, please like and share on social media. We love what we do here, love bringing it to you. I'm Mike on behalf of the team. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.